We're just going to remind you of our breaking news this morning, confirmed in the last few moments from Chadwick Boseman, the star of Black Panther. His representatives confirming that he has died at the age of 43. His representatives saying that he had battled a 4-year fight with colon cancer. And in a statement on Twitter, they had said it is with immeasurable grief that we can confirm the passing of Chadwick Boseman. He, of course, starred in Black Panther and several Marvel films, including Avengers: Infinity War.
Chadwick Boseman, the actor who was best known for playing the lead role in the Black Panther film, has died from cancer at the age of 43. We can speak to our reporter in Los Angeles, David Willis. David, I mean, this was an actor who made a very big impression. It's such sad news, and it's come as a surprise to many people.
It has indeed, Charlie, and he was already a considerable star here in Hollywood, but he was a man seen as having enormous potential in the film industry, having signed a 5-picture deal with Marvel to play Black Panther. That was a film that was a breakthrough in many ways here, not least because it had a predominantly black crew and cast. It was also the first superhero movie to be nominated for a Best Picture Oscar. But in April of this year, there was video of Mr. Boseman on social media in which he looked quite thin, and that prompted speculation from some, because he had never talked about his treatment for colon cancer, that he might be preparing for some sort of film role and losing weight because of that. It's emerged since that he filmed some of his most famous roles, the roles for which he will be best remembered, whilst undergoing surgeries and chemotherapy.
David, for the moment, thank you very much. And the Hollywood Reporter leads on tributes being paid to Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman, who's died from cancer. And we'll be talking about that more in a few minutes' time. Many tributes being paid today to an actor who many people said had an extraordinary future ahead of him.
That film is absolutely phenomenal as well, and there'll be a whole generation of children who will have been brought up watching that, and it will have transformed perhaps their view of what was formerly a very white Hollywood, really culturally significant.
Yeah, let's talk about it a little more now. Joined from Los Angeles by the entertainment reporter Sandro Manetti. Very good morning to you, Sandro. Yeah, lovely to see you there. Now, you know, we were just discussing in the studio, Chadwick Boseman was an actor who'd made such a big impression, and so many people talking about what lay ahead and the impact that an actor like that was going to have.
One of my favourite tributes to him in the last few minutes comes from his Avengers co-star Mark Ruffalo, who said on Twitter his greatness was just beginning. And he had an uncanny ability to portray greatness on screen when you look at his breakthrough role as Jackie Robinson, the baseball player who broke the color barrier. He also played Thurgood Marshall, the first black Supreme Court justice. He played icons like James Brown. And so this combination of dignity and dynamism that he had made him perfect to play Black Panther. And it was a movie which did so much better than everybody expected, and took $1.3 billion at the international box office. It changed the industry. It created a hero to a new generation, and so much more ahead for him, including Black Panther 2, which was due to start filming in early 2021.
Sandro, talk to us a little bit about his illness, because often with Hollywood stars or big stars, we feel like we know arguably too much about their lives. But it would appear from what I'm hearing this morning that there wasn't much known about how he was in the run-up to his death.
He kept his personal life very quiet. The reports say, oh, he's survived by his wife, Taylor. No one in Hollywood knew they were married. They only got engaged last October, and there'd certainly been no announcement. So he was, for someone who was so public as a Marvel star, he was a very private figure, and he'd chosen to keep his cancer diagnosis secret, as had Kelly Preston, who passed away from breast cancer just a few weeks ago. She was the wife of John Travolta, of course, and he was able to work from 2016 right through to 2020 last on screen in Da 5 Bloods, the Netflix film directed by Spike Lee, all in between chemotherapy and hospital appointments. And yes, what a remarkably brave figure he was. Those who were closest to him knew how brave he was being. The world had no idea.
And tell us a little more about the tributes that have come in, because he was only 43. I mean, in itself, it's a tragedy, isn't it? But many people have been affected by the news this morning.
From the movie world and the sports world as well, his death was announced on Jackie Robinson Day. And what that is, it's when all baseball games in America pay tribute to Jackie Robinson, the player who broke the color barrier, by wearing his number 42 on their shirts. And sports figures as well as movie stars have joined in the tributes, most of his Avengers colleagues. And I was lucky enough to interview him 3 times. And such a quiet dignity. He certainly wasn't as bombastic as a lot of movie stars, and it made you understand why he was such a great choice to play icons, because he carried himself in both a modest and a regal way, if that makes any sense. And he's gone at such a terribly young age, but I think the legacy he leaves and the doors that he's thrown open for heroes in Hollywood, his impact will be felt for a very long time.
Sandra, good to speak to you this morning. Thank you very much, and for those tributes as well. That's Sandra Monetti just talking to us about the news this morning that's been announced that Chadwick Boseman, who's 43 years old, actor, has died from cancer.
Yeah, very sad news. It's all over social media this morning. Tributes have been paid to him from some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Actor Mark Ruffalo, who starred with Boseman in the Avengers movies, said it was the highest honour getting to work with him.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson thanked the actor for sharing his talent with the world.
And Whoopi Goldberg said Boseman was one of her all-time favourite people.